That is me holding my cousin's friend's baby. This slide is about, I couldn't decide on a font to use to put my words on. I really struggled, so I said I'd say them. The first word is soften. Soften, like becoming soft. One of the things I'm learning is to think and analyze less and feel more so that I can become more empathetic. And in order to listen to somebody, I need to soften what my hardest stance is. And if I do not do that, how am I then different from the fundamentalists that I rail against? You know, if I'm not able to listen to that fundamentalist to the very end of his or her argument and prove to them that I've heard them, how then will I open them up so that they can hear what my point of view is? So softening my hardest stance, I think this is the softest picture there is of me, looking remotely maternal, because that's not my thing. Though I love babies, I love them. This is a mural that was done on our wall at the Nest. I work at an organization called the Nest in Nairobi. It's an interdisciplinary artistic collective. We do collaborative works with artists, and we love anything that's anti-oppression. We had a visit from Stacey Ann Chin, the poet, and we were really inspired by that all oppression is connected. And so our creative director, Jim Chuchu, did this mural on our wall. So it's on one wall in the office, and there's all these beautiful words around it. There's downloadables on the net if you want to look for it and have a look. It's beautiful. And my word for this was intersectionality, so that I think about people who have AIDS. I think about people who are struggling with issues of labor rights in their country. I'm thinking about people who are struggling with religious rights, who are oppressing one another because they're powerful, because religion has given them that power. You know, thinking about sexism, thinking about social class, everything, all the time. And being sure that the awareness that I am not struggling alone. You know, and that beautiful word in the paper that we had to read, that was collaboration, and that the insight into the struggle of others is growing in empathy. You know, this is Bishop Christopher Senyonjo. I got to meet him like a couple of weeks ago because they're doing the God Loves Uganda tour, and we screened it at the Nest. It was a beautiful day, and he's a beautiful, beautiful spirit. He, for me, represents what reconciliation is, and he does run a reconciliation center in Uganda, which is about cutting down all the barriers between the LGBT community and religion, and especially Christian religion, and especially with the damage that Christianity has done to the rights of the LGBT people in Uganda. He's a beautiful example of what we were talking about earlier, about people just cutting across boundaries. And he for me turns war zones into dinner tables, you know, where we just put down our weapons and we talk and we listen to one another. And what we find, shared humanity, and understand that all our existential desire is to be free, to love, and to matter. This is a diagram of what Theatre of the Oppressed is. It's a Brazilian model developed by a Brazilian playwright and director called Augusto Boal. I don't know whether I said it correctly, but it's a fantastic, fantastic method of reaching people. First of all, because people always want to talk about stuff that other people are doing, not really about themselves. So it's a beautiful way of kind of just getting to a place a little slower. My favorite is forum theater, where you get people to act out a scenario and then the audience get to interact with it. What I find that breaks down the boundaries of is the spectator. People watch, but then they don't get involved. And so when you watch the scenario and then get to comment about it and to stop it and intervene on behalf of the oppressed party, that's really powerful. Also, it removes the showbiz element from life. So actors are acting life. They're not acting so that they can be seen and be applauded and be lauded for their talent, but they are acting things that are supposed to reach people and touch their hearts. And so Theatre of the Oppressed is about the non-violent restoration of dialogue, and we love that model at the Nest, and we are always doing like little forum theatre events. And we love the ways that it gets people to talk about the different things that they're experiencing and the different views that they have. And what we love about it most is that the audience get to check one another. So sometimes the joker or the moderator, and I get to play that role a lot, the joker doesn't even have to check somebody for being disrespectful, the audience are gonna do that. And once we had this time when everybody in the audience was against one particular way, but this one girl wouldn't stand down from her point, and then she convinced everybody to come over to see things the way she was looking at them. So that was really beautiful for us. This is a slightly fuzzy diagram that for me illustrates what the sharing economy is. And I think it's a beautiful space that the world is going into, where we're more committed to connectedness, to community, to more authentic lived experiences. Like for instance, if I stayed at Irene's house, I would have a more authentic experience of what Holland is, what Pinyam is. Am I saying it correctly? Brilliant. Yes, as from if I stayed at some hotel, and the whole talk you gave us earlier and in our briefs about why you wanted to bring us into a lived experience where we're doing things that we would do at home so that we have more of a sense of real life and sharing together. That for me is really powerful. And so especially peer-to-peer holidaying is really wonderful for getting people to, connect. And one interesting thing that I read is that one of the founders of one of the biggest sharing economy things, I think it's called Phone, and it's about spreading wireless internet everywhere. And he said that the next place it's going is with fertility. So people are going to be thinking wider around how they can share sperm and eggs and surrogacy experiences and sharing more of themselves. And I think that's a very beautiful space to go into. So as we're talking about, all sorts of things, let's think about that as one of the things that is important for sexual freedom, that I as a woman can decide that I want to carry somebody else's baby, but I don't have to want to raise a baby for myself, and that's freedom too. All right. Ooh, thank you.